Hello, everybody. This is Bernadette from EuropeanLife. Thank you for joining me today. And I'm very happy that everybody is on board. Now we're back in the studio and it feels like we're starting up again. And that's because it's September and it's always a month that after the summer, everybody's going to be back and everybody is happy to be back. At least the people I work with. I'm not sure about you, but because it's like a new start and because everybody is starting up and I feel that Corona is getting to the back now. So I think it's time for people to see if we can help you a little bit with that startup. And today we have a very special guest, I think, because he's in the market of sponsorships and partnerships and commercial sponsorships, that is. And the story is very amazing for me, but also I think that there might be people out there who are very interesting to join him and to talk to him. His name is Poole, and I hope I say this right. And he's an independent marketing consultant. He is a sponsorship expert. He have different director positions. He's also a coach trainer. He's independent, but he works in different offices, for example, in Southeast Asia, in Bangkok. And he's in London, he's in New York, he worked with Wrangler, Levi Strauss, Ralph Lauren, Coca Cola. It's quite impressive, I think. So I'm very happy that he's here today, and hopefully we can all learn from him.
I'm great, thank you very much, Bernadette. Nice to be here.
Thank you for joining us today. I told already the listeners that I'm very curious about you because that's a business I know much about myself. So we have a lot of questions for you, and we would love to hear from you how you're doing in Asia, how you're doing on the sponsorship market. But first of all, I would like to talk about Poole as a person himself. You are not from Asia, and you are now there on this office for sponsorships. Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, so I spent 15 years of my career working for large fashion brands, Wrangler, Levi Strauss and Co, Polo, Ralph Lauren and Diesel. So 15 years in jeans. I turned 30 in 2000 and decided I didn't want to be an old man working in fashion. So I jumped agency side. Joining the board of PR21 Edelman and then Cohn and Wolfe WPP with a creative development brief for clients including Orange, Coca Cola, Cadbury, Trebor, Bassett and Guinness UDV. I absolutely hated working agency side, so decided if I was going to be agency side, I might as well work for myself. So I set up my own consultancy in London and then later here in Bangkok. In London, we consult through the line, so all areas of marketing. And that was my original plan here in Asia. I actually moved here full time in January 2005 and quickly found nobody wanted to pay for advice. So I re-looked at the marketplace and saw that event marketing was a very popular, very successful tool for most marketers. But I was really quite shocked to see that although most events are 100% reliant on sponsorship, there wasn't anybody specializing in commercial sponsorship and partnership marketing. So I decided that's what we would do. So that's all we have done over the last, almost 19 years.
So you're telling me you are in Bangkok, you are in London, you are in New York. And if I'm just about from the sponsorship side, on one side, your client are the investors, right? And on the other side, they are the brands. Is that how it goes?
Yeah. So, yes. I mean, I would say 90% of our work is for rights holders, so people that need sponsors. And I would say 10% of our work is with the sponsors themselves, the brands.
Okay. So can you tell me about this sponsorship market? Is there a sort of before and after Corona story? I can imagine that changed because,
Yeah.
Sponsorship costs money. And maybe a lot of brands likes to have sponsorship these days, maybe more than before, because it's like a tough economy everywhere. So tell me, is there a difference between before and after Corona?
Absolutely. I mean, if you think 80% of our work is in sports and 20% of our work is in non-sports, so arts, entertainment, and MICE. So looking at that, most of it is event driven. So obviously it's been an extremely challenging 2.5 years for everybody in the sponsorship industry, with practically no live events. And it's definitely become a buyer's market. So there's plenty of challenges out there still for rights holders. Yeah. I mean, personally, during the pandemic, like many others, we pivoted towards digital rights. So we looked at digital rights versus live. We adopted the SportsCred social media sponsorship platform and launched the Sponsorship Experts Private Influencer Network during that time, which was really a godsend. It enabled us to continue throughout the pandemic, which means we're still here today.
Right. Yeah.
But now it's interesting. So the sponsorship industry is now really resurging in Asia post-pandemic, and it's great to see live events back on our roster. Sorry, go ahead.
I think so too. We see a lot of events coming back. To be honest, we work with a lot of events ourselves, of course, in promotion. And it's September. Thank you that it's September. And now we feel that there are so many events coming back and people are interested to go there again. And so that's very interesting for us. We also see a lot of new brands coming up, by the way. And I was just wondering, from your point of view, as the professional you are, so why should anybody, I understand why an investor would invest in a brand, but why should a brand look for sponsors? How does it work? We have a lot of listeners who are kind of small designers or small companies. I think sponsorship is something they're really interested in.
Yeah, well,
how does it work?
Okay, well, I mean, sponsorship, has many benefits, and those taking a professional approach to the medium can be very rewarding, helping a brand meet its marketing objectives. If you think about sponsorship, it's really the entire marketing mix in one package. When a brand sponsors anything, the rights packages that are built by the rights holders or by people like myself cover all areas of marketing. So it's really a very rewarding medium, and it's one of the best ways to extend brand visibility and broaden awareness across a wide range of audiences. So I personally think sponsorship delivers the marketing mix better than the independent marketing solutions.
Right. So if there would be a brand, for example, I was looking at your website and I saw, for example, a sort of marketplace, and I was very curious about that because that looks like small projects actually to me. And also I thought, okay, that might be very interesting. For example, we are talking next week to a new brand, a new fashion brand. They have the runways in London, for example. Might it be interesting for them to have a sponsor on the side? Do you think they would have the opportunity to get bigger with a sponsor than without?
Yeah, actually, I mean, without name dropping brands, I mean, we did this for Jaguar Land Rover here locally in Thailand a number of years ago when, Jaguar Land Rover, obviously a big brand globally, but in terms of vehicle sales here, relatively small. So limited budget. So sometimes an established brand or a new brand having brand partnerships can really make their budgets go a lot further. So I think, from our the vast majority of our clients are rights holders, so they are really the event owners. But actually, brands also are looking for brand partnerships sometimes to make their money go further. So, I mean, you mentioned marketplace. Actually, we have lots of different ways of working with our clients. And marketplace is really a platform where people that are not really our fee-based clients can post their opportunities for the market to see. So we find that a lot of charity, a lot of CSR platforms that perhaps don't have the budgets to hire us with our products and services list their opportunities on our marketplace and still see rewards from that. So that's why you see a lot of smaller or actually, that's unfair. They're not necessarily smaller, but perhaps have smaller budgets. But some of the activities are still very rewarding.
Yeah, I think that from our listeners who are having, for example, designers or having small events or having small brands, I really urge you to go to the website and look at the marketplace. I saw it and I thought a lot of our listeners could be interested in this, because I think for everybody, there is a difference before Corona and after Corona, also for the small businesses. And I think you guys can find each other there, and there might be a whole new world or a whole new opportunity opening up. So I was very impressed with it. So go to that website. I'm going to tell you later how you can get in touch with the agency of Poole. Poole, I was just wondering, I know you are also looking for sponsors for Thailand International Boat Show. Now, we have a EuropeanLife Luxury Week at the time that in collaboration with Thailand International Boat Show. It will be a great party in the middle of Phuket. You cannot get it any better than that. And I was wondering if there are sponsors out there or investors and saying, hey, wow, that sounds like a great investment for me. Can you tell me why it would be good to invest in Thailand International Boat Show?
I mean, sure. I mean, we've been very fortunate that we've got a lot of experience with the boat shows in Southeast Asia. I mean, we've worked practically on every single boat show that's happened in the region over the last 18, 19 years. The Thailand International Boat Show is really one of my favorites. It takes place at Royal Phuket Marina in the heart of Phuket, beautiful marina. And the show, actually calling it a boat show is a little unfair. It really is a luxury lifestyle event. I mean, it's more than just a boat show. Yes, it has in-water and onshore displays. Yes, it has a luxury hub, and it also has a marina market. We have loads of social events and bars and restaurants around the boardwalk, a VIP gala dinner, but also a business conference that takes place in the morning each day. So it's really a hybrid show, if you like, not digitally hybrid, but a hybrid in terms of it's really a business to business show and a business to consumer show. And a business to government show, because we get great government support for the show, and there's great interest in the growth in yachting in this part of the world.
And they also have the EuropeanLife Luxury Week around it. It's going to be yearly, and EuropeanLife media is all about business and luxury. So together we have a huge platform, and might be very interesting for people who are already looking at Thailand as a business opportunity, but also in collaboration with great teams there who are there, for years now. So I can imagine that the whole package is a very interesting hub to look at.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in terms of the physical show, I mean, we get around 6,000 visitors with more than 100 exhibitors on land and in the water. Obviously, through our media partnerships, we can expand that visibility significantly. So expanding through media partnerships is really key to all the brands, whether they're a sponsor, partner, or exhibitor taking part in the show in January.
Well, we're actually starting our paid promotion today, because it's September. So today we're going to start Thailand International Boat Show campaign. But it will be great for everybody who wants to be media partners or who are interested in any other way. I can imagine also luxury brands saying now, like, oh, wow, it's a boat show and it looks like it's all about boat. It's not. There is a big part about luxury lifestyle, right?
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, the center of the show is boats. I mean, and everything about boating. So, you can go there and buy your rope or floaty key ring right up to a super yacht and everything in between. But it's not just about boats. It's about the lifestyle of yachting and luxury lifestyle. So, we have luxury cars, and we've done very well over the years with the luxury cars. We have motorbikes. We have luxury waterside properties. We have jewelry and watches. So it's really everything that is supporting the lifestyle of yachting. So much more than just boats, but a lot of boats on the water as well. Having said that.
Yeah, no, and also I think the combination is great. You know, you have the shopping, you have the restaurants, the hotels, you have the boats, you have the blue water, you have the palm trees. Believe me, it's a postcard. Yeah. And I think that everybody out there will think, okay, in winter, and I'm from Europe, so I can know that from winter you have to go somewhere where the sun is shining. I would say it's in January also. Perfect. Yeah. Go there and be there. So yeah, that will be great. At the end, I just want to see what kind of tips you can give to young brands or small companies or even big companies who are looking for a sponsor or, are thinking of getting out there and looking for the partnerships you are representing. Can you give them some tips about that, how to handle it?
I mean, sure. I mean, there are lots of different types of sponsorship. It doesn't necessarily mean you need millions of dollars to partner with an event or with a brand. We have monetary sponsorships. Obviously, these events are very expensive to organize, so monetary sponsorship is very, very important. But we have VIK, value in kind sponsorships, where brands can give goods and services instead of money. If it's of benefit to the event. So there are in-kind sponsorships available as well. I mean, in terms of a brand considering a sponsorship, I would really say setting objectives. I mean, really it's about knowing why you're getting into a sponsorship. Yes, every sponsorship, you get an inventory of rights that you get. So whether it be branding benefits or media benefits or experiential marketing benefits, networking, hospitality, data capture. I mean, the list goes on. But I think for a brand, you need to know what your objective is. Most brands, of course, want a return on investment. That's pretty easy to calculate based on sales or leads through the sponsorship. But some brands may want a return on objective. So it's actually setting those objectives so you can really measure the success of the sponsorship. It's also about the event, understanding the brand, and most importantly as well is the brand understanding the event and the participants of the event, because what is key to a successful sponsorship is activation. So yes, if you're sponsoring an event, you will get all of those rights benefits, but you then need to plan your own activation to say, okay, how can I tailor this sponsorship to fit my own brand's objective, and actually come up with some activation activity that meets that. I mean, we always advise for every dollar spent on the sponsorship, you spend an additional dollar on activation. And when we see great activation, we see great sponsorship. So that's also critically important. And then finally, when the event's over, it doesn't mean the job's done. That's when you start measuring. You actually measure your objectives, you measure your return, whether it's investment or on objectives, to really see if it worked. And that then sets you up for the renegotiation for the following year's sponsorship. So, it's not over when the event closes down on the Sunday evening or whenever. That's really when the hard work begins, if you like, and you're measuring the activity.
Yeah, I understand. Well, it's so interesting. I actually would love to talk to you more and see what kind of interesting partnership we can find with EuropeanLife, with the events we have, with the magazines we have, the whole media teams we have. So we probably will. But for now, everybody who's listening, everybody who likes to know more about Poole, about his agency, about Thailand International Boat Show, or about the whole world of sponsorship, looking for partners or investing, all the information about how to get in touch with Poole and his agency, you can find on our website, which is www.EuropeanLifeMedia.com. If you have any questions about us or about this show, so please send us an email. You can find us on podcast, EuropeanLifeMedia.com. So Poole, I really want to thank you for your time today. It was very interesting. I have to say, the whole world where you are in is something which is a great fit for our business and luxury platform. So thank you very much. And all listeners, thank you so much for being here as well. I hope you will join next time. We have some interesting people lined up, but we're also going to some events because events are back. It's September, October, November. Follow us and be with us on these journeys. So thank you very much, and I hope you have a great week. Bye.